Hello ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's Papa Bale and welcome to the channel. Alright, so I've got everything. I went last night and I rewired. I used Logic, and so we got there's an AC side and a DC side. I had the solar panels on the AC side, but everything on the AC side gets filtered through, funneled through the bridge rectifier to the DC side. Okay, so logically I just thought that putting the solar panels on the AC side meant that it would flow through, but it's a different signal than all the AC that's going through. So what I did was I changed it. So we got all the coils on the AC side, they go through the bridge rectifier to the DC side. And then on the DC side, I have it go into caps. So I rewired the caps so that the positive and the negative go positive to negative in the cap line. And it's a lot of caps. You got two super caps, two 25 volts, and two 50 volt caps. They're tiny. They're like 3.3 micro for capacitance, 4700, 2200. Oh yeah, there's a 10 volt in there as well. All right, so we're going to see what it can do in regards to how long it'll move for. Okay, we're going to spin it that way, clockwise. Now, hold on. That was weak. All right, so we spun it up. We've got, now on the DC side, we've got 4 solar panels hooked up in series, so we're going to get more voltage from that. I might hook them up in parallel, but I soldered it, so, you know. So that's my second solder job, was these solar panels, and they work, so I did it right. I just maybe not thought it through enough and should have done it parallel. I don't know. Altogether, I think it's 60 milliamps and about 2 volts from the solar panels ambiently, like just from the light from the ceiling and from the reflective light out of the window. It's awesome. So we've got the coils, the AC coils, the generator coils. There's 7 of them going through the bridge rectifier, and then we've got the solar panels also going to the caps on the other side of the bridge rectifier. So everything's being funneled through the capacitor bank. We got the DC side looking pretty good. So we've got the solar panels and we've got the coil output. Alright, so what else do we need? The reed switch and the coil are also tied in. So the coil, and that's what I've been struggling with, is whether or not the coil is on the right side of the equation here. I think it is. So the coil draws from the negative end of the cap line. It goes through the coil, through the reed switch, and then connects to the ground or the negative of the bridge rectifier. And that completes a circuit. Now, why it wasn't set up like that before, I have no idea. It still worked pretty good, but this is different. This is the solar panels giving the energy, or the DC directly to the cap bank on the other side, the DC side. So that's different. That's like direct energy. And it's not how fast really that it's going. It's that is it, each rotation is at the same speed or just a minute amount less for this long period of time. Joe Joe told me that I should look for this state. When it starts spinning, stop slowing down for a while, and then it just, if you don't find your equilibrium here, it's just going to fall right off. But yeah, just swapping the solar panels to the DC side and connecting the cap bank the way it should be. Um, it's a lot better. It's awesome. But I think I may have disconnected something because the lights on the bridge rectifier, the indicator lights, what it does is it shows when there's energy in the DC caps, or energy in the bridge rectifier at all. Well, that's what I'm confused about. Is it like that? Is it there's no light, there's no energy at all, or is it right now going through it to the point where it won't light up, but there's definitely energy going through it? I think I got a connection that disconnected. Yeah. Now, one of the first rotors that I ever made was made out of wood, and it didn't have a bearing, and it could spin for 20 minutes, and it was light as a feather. I mean, you had your tiny bar magnets, like, this big, at 72, not 72 degrees, but like, I forget, 15 degrees probably. Maybe it was 5 degrees. I'm not sure, but 72 magnets around the outer edge of the disc, and it could levitate on another disc the same size, or it could levitate on another disc bigger than it, or it could levitate on another disc smaller than it. So if it was a 10-inch disc, it could levitate on 12, and it could levitate on 8. And it's strong. God, with so many magnets on there, even though they're little, when you get them close together, like that close together, and I totally destroyed like all my clothes, super gluing the magnets on, because they would get on my I've destroyed my fingers too. I can't grip anything anymore. Can't see this. I gotta grab it like that now. My nails, everything suffered from the super glue, but that's not the point. I made beautiful things with it. The problem is that the magnet started popping off after like 2 years. So, yeah, see, it's still spinning. I mean, something's right. All right, so that's pretty much what I got. Thank you for indulging me in my little story. Thank you very much. Peace out. Bye now.